guys, I have a special video today because I will be baking a pie and then drawing it and eating it. I'm doing this in honor of Pi Day. What is Pi Day, you may ask? Well, that is today, so happy Pi Day to you. Pi Day is celebrated on March 14th around the world. Pi, which is a Greek symbol that looks like this, is the symbol in mathematics used to represent a constant, which is approximately 3.14159. In other words, March 14th, the third month and the 14th day. You can learn more on piday.org. Today I am going to be making a pie and then drawing it. Because let's be real, I just wanted an excuse to make a pie and then eat it. I mean draw it. So to actually make the pie, I found a recipe, which you can find in the description, that I was happy with and started making the crust. I should mention that the idea for this challenge was created by fellow artist Kendall Hillegas and I, who you may remember from the Q&A artist talk I did with her, as well as her very own successful YouTube channel. You'll be able to find a link to her video at the end. Oh, did I mention this is only the second pie I've ever made? The first was a strawberry pie I made for a coworker's birthday once. It looked beautiful until you cut into it, and then all the filling poured out of the crust and down onto your plate. Womp womp. So after mixing everything up, it's off to the refrigerator to chill for about an hour. In the meantime, I started getting my ingredients for the filling ready. When the dough was chilled, I took it out and rolled it. By this point, I was already getting really excited. When I finally got the pie pan out, it all started coming together for me. At least visually, I had the beginnings of a pie. And to give the edges of the pie crust that crimped look, I used a fork and pressed down all the way around the rim. Then, as my pie crust was baking, I started to make the filling for the pie. If you haven't guessed it by now, I made a pecan pie. They never appealed to me so much until several Thanksgivings of really good pecan pies happened, and the whole concept has really grown on me since then. So I just put the pie in the oven, and guys, I wish you could smell the smells coming out of my kitchen right now. It is amazing. Let's hope it turns out good. So of course, first things first, I had to try a piece. I then hauled my whole pie over to my workspace and plunked it down to draw for about 45 minutes to an hour total. I knew I wanted to work with my favorite watercolor pencils to achieve the rich colors of the pecan pie, but beyond that I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do process-wise, and I kind of just jumped in with my pencil case beside me and let the magic happen. As always, I did a rough block-in with the watercolor pencils, because these pencils don't really need a thick, even coating of pigment. Once water touches them, they immediately loosen up and blend beautifully. So I layered a couple shades of orange and yellow and finally brown in the center of the pie. The only thing I wasn't really sure about color-wise was the background, which you'll see more of in a bit. Then, with my Pentel Aquash water brush pen, I blended all of the layers together, per my usual method, in which I don't take too much care to be precise about staying in the lines. In fact, I really like the smudgy look it gives. After the watercolor pencils dried, this is when I just started pulling stuff out of my pencil case and using it. A lot of the process from here on out I think really speaks for itself. So apple pie has always been my favorite, but truth be told, since I did such a terrible job on my first fruit pie, I decided to make a pecan pie because I was so nervous the apple would be a flop and I would have this horrible mess to draw. Even though my pecan pie didn't turn out perfect, for instance, I don't think I used enough filling, I still think it presented well and tasted good too. You can't really tell this from the video, but the crust was actually a bit tough or maybe hard. I'm not sure what I could have done to improve that. Perhaps I mixed it too much or it wasn't thick enough? Any bakers out there got any ideas why this could happen? Anyways, as you can see at this point, the pie crust blends in a bit with the background. So as I start to use my Pentel watercolor brush pen in the light black pigment ink to add detail, I decided I wanted to use this brush pen to make the background a dark gray as well. I should add, I love this pen for how versatile it is and how even a coat of medium gray ink it will make on most any paper material and over most other medias as well. I liked the contrast this gave between the background and the pie crust, but it just seemed really dark. So I briefly contemplated pulling out the acrylics to get a brighter color over top, and then I remembered. I had a beautiful unused sky blue Montana acrylic marker sitting on my desk. Everything is better in pen form. In a little bit, I go in and add this acrylic layer over top the gray ink. I love this marker because it dries fairly quickly, has a matte finish, and is super opaque. For me, the marker didn't run at all. I of course had to add highlight details in my favorite Uniball Signo UM153 white gel pen. This pen always works well for me on watercolor paper, and the ink comes out very opaque as well. Well, I think that's about it. Don't forget to submit your own Pi Day artwork to pidaypiedraw.tumblr.com, and please do check out Kendall's video. She made an amazing looking pie and drew it beautifully too. As always, thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. I'll see you next time. Bye!